In this video, we'll be comparing the Onewheel XR to the Onewheel Pint. Hopefully this helps you decide which one to get your special someone. That's you. Wink wink, share that link. I've ridden over 60 miles on my XR, and when Papa Goose saw just how much fun I was having on mine, he decided to get his own Onewheel, and he chose the Onewheel Pint. When I was deciding which Onewheel I should get, I had more questions than answers, and the answers I wish I had before buying are the topics I cover in this video. I'll be going over the price and value for your money, the mileage, the different features of each board, mounting and dismounting, and carveability, which is the ability to carve. If you're looking to learn more on a specific topic, you can click on the corresponding timestamp in the description below. To start off, I'll be going over the differences in carveability. I set up a cone course to illustrate the comparison. For this first part, I have the cone separated at 4 feet and I'll be doing figure eights. You can see I need to make a wider turn with the XR to get back on track for the figure eight, but for both boards it's a challenge to navigate the course. Here's a side view of the figure eight comparison. Next I do a slalom course with cones placed 4 feet apart. In my opinion, the Pint was way more maneuverable. Take note of how much more shoulder counter rotation I need to carve the XR. I got the hang of it eventually. The differences in carveability and ride personality have to do with the different tire profiles. The Pint tire is much rounder than the XR's tire. Both tires have a rim diameter of 6 inches, but the XR's tire has an overall diameter of 11.5 inches and a tread width of 6.5, while the Pint's tire has a diameter of 10.5 and a width of 4.5 inches. The Pint has a tire 2 inches less in width and 1 inch less in diameter than the XR's tire. To compare the feeling when turning, with the Pint I had to focus on not falling, but I can roll more into my turns. With the XR, I had to focus on pushing the edge of the tire into the ground, resulting in a more cushiony, grippier feeling. It's a lot like pushing down diagonally with toe and heel pressure. Something surprising I wanted to mention. For the video I had my XR on the most aggressive, responsive, and carvy setting called Delirium, while the Pint was set to the least responsive, least aggressive setting, Redwood, and even then, the Pint still had more carveability. The Pint wins this round. Now let's talk mounting and dismounting. The Pint has a feature called Simple Stop which was activated for this video. Honestly, it took me a long time to learn how to get off the XR correctly. Simple Stop with the Pint allows you to just lean back to stop riding, which I think is a lot easier for beginners to learn versus lifting their heel on the XR to get off, but the rounder wheel makes it more challenging to balance when stopped. Onto the features. Something that came conveniently with the Pint is the included mag handle. It's super comfortable. On the other hand, the XR does have a grip, but it comes underneath the front foot pad. Papa Goose says he would have preferred the Pint to have a grip like this one, but I find it a little uncomfortable when I'm walking. Sure, the weight's more centered, but it's a lot of weight leaning to one side. The XR has a metal power button which has a nice click to it. The bright blue ring lets you know when it's on. The Pint has a rubberized power button, and the on indicator is at the top. The Pint's power button is on the same side as the charging port, unlike the XR. The Pint's indicator light glows while it's charging. The Pint has a charge time of 120 minutes, and the XR has a charge time of 110 minutes. The Pint's indicator also lets you know how much battery life you have left. With the XR, you'll have to check the smartphone or smartwatch app. A blue indicator light lets you know if only one side of the foot pad is being pressed on. Here's a look at the grip tape patterns of the XR on the left and the Pint on the right. Here's some night riding to show the difference in brightness between the XR and Pint's built-in lights. You can see the XR's lights are much brighter than the Pint's, but the Pint's lights are still bright enough to illuminate upcoming cracks in the road. The XR's higher battery life is the main reason I went with the XR. The XR can reach from 12 to 18 miles, while the Pint will reach 6 to 8 miles. On my XR, on average, I ride around 8 miles per ride. At low battery, the board leans back by itself, giving pushback to tell you to slow down or stop. I was impressed that the Pint reached 9 miles, 1 mile more than the said maximum, before giving pushback, but the Pint would not ride any further without leaning back. The indicator light turned red around 21% battery. At this point, the board would not even let the motor engage if you tried to bounce to keep on riding. I think it's a good programmed safety feature. It reminds you to slow down when you're going too fast. Also, the Pint's top speed is 16 miles per hour and the XR's is 19 miles per hour. So if you like more speed and range, the XR is for you. For some people though, the Pint might be perfectly enough. Now let's talk about the price. The Pint goes for $950 and the XR goes for $1,799. The one you should choose comes down to budget and which of these categories are most important to you. For me, carveability was one of my main concerns, but my priorities were stability at high speeds and range where I didn't have to worry about going back home early, which is why I chose the XR. On the other hand, Papa Goose would have preferred the more stable ride of the XR, but for almost half the price, the Pint suited his needs. It looks like our little inspector here made his decision. I hope my video helped you too.